Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing a reading for Virgo for the month of January. This is going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, as well as the cross-watcher of the Virgo. Clear. And this is going to be a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. First card out right off the bat for you guys is the throat chakra. I speak my truth and encourage others to speak theirs. So you guys are really being called to step up this month, to really speak your truth. Anywhere where you've had trouble maybe saying something that needs to be said. I heard like telling it like it is. Like you guys are, you're being asked to tell it like it is. There's been some situation where you've possibly been holding your tongue. You've been holding back from speaking your truth or speaking the truth about a situation. And this could be for various reasons, why ever it is that you are afraid to speak the truth. Maybe it's that others aren't acknowledging the truth, and so you're not acknowledging it either. Maybe it's easier to not acknowledge the truth. But whatever it is, you guys are being called to speak up. And when you do, you're going to encourage others to do the same. It's like, I feel like there are other people who are wanting to speak their truth, but they're afraid to. And you're in that same energy. And so when you step up and speak yours, you're actually going to liberate them to speak theirs as well, which is going to be really positive for everyone involved. And here we also have the present. I fully experience every moment of my life by living in the present. And so you guys, because you are such a mind-dominated sign, right? You tend to, and obviously this depends on whatever else you have in your chart, but a lot of times Virgo tends to be very, very much caught up in the mind, and the mind is always functioning in either the past or the future. The mind is never functioning in the present, right? It's always trying to figure things out, to analyze things, to understand things. And so it's drawing from its past experience, and it's drawing from into its projections of the future. It's utilizing the past to make projections about the future. That's what the mind does. And so, oh, that's really interesting. I've never really thought about it like that before, but that is, right? Utilizing experience from the past to make projections about the future. And so it's like you guys are being asked to pull yourselves back into the present moment, to just be present, and to really acknowledge the power that the present moment holds. And this is going to help pull you out of your heads a little bit as you focus more in the now, as you are present in the moment. You guys, I feel like a lot of mental activity, right? Which isn't, you don't have to be intuitive to figure that out, right? That's generally what's going on with Virgo. But like in order to, like you guys are really being urged or reminded, is a better word, reminded of the power of the present moment and just being really present in the moment. And when it is that you speak your truth too, and you say what needs to be said, to be really present with that conversation as well. I'm feeling like to be really fully allow yourselves to be in whatever this conversation is that has to happen, however this is meant to come about, like to be really anchored in the present moment, to be really attentive and to really truly listen, right? To listen to what the other person is saying. We communicate much more effectively when we are able to truly listen, right? And not just wait for our turn to speak, not just think that we already know what the other person is thinking and what anticipating what they're going to say, but just really listening to what it actually is that they are saying. And you're going to be much more aware. You're going to be able to pick up on a lot more nuances too, if you're fully present with them and connected in with their energy, is sort of what I'm feeling as far as whatever conversations need to happen. Yeah. Whatever reason you weren't able to speak your truth, it's like you're just really being called to do that. That energy is so strong. And then we have rest at day's end. I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. So once again, the resting the body and the mind, right? Like really giving that mind a rest, right? Getting into that space of contemplation, getting into that hermit mode, right? You guys are represented by the hermit in the tarot. And so really getting into that mode a little bit and just really like connecting. It's like if you don't know how to go about speaking your truth, if you don't know how to speak that in a way where it's going to be received, reconnect to spirit, ask spirit. Take that time out, get present, get rooted, get grounded, and stop thinking, stop trying to figure it out, and let the answer come to you intuitively is sort of like what I'm feeling from that. Anything else before we move to probably some tarot? Okay. We have crown chakra and sacral chakra coming out for you guys. I know I am part of source and my life is guided by divine wisdom, and I feel comfortable in my own body, and I'm sensitive to other people's feelings, right? That energy coming through really strongly. The being sensitive to other people's feelings. And so that taps right into that conversation. That's truth that is needing to be spoken, right? Yeah, and the being comfortable in your own body is once again that energy of being grounded. I'm feeling. It's like and then the crown chakra is your connection to above, right? So it's like really rooting yourself in both places. It's the balance aspect that's important for you guys right now. That balance. It's like, I feel like some of you guys have gotten a little bit off balance because you've been too much up here and also too much in here. And so it's like bringing yourself back into your body is going to help you also to get centered, to get grounded, to sort of quiet some of that internal chaos. And then on the bottom of the deck, I am the creator of my own dreams and achieve them with confidence. All right, let's get some tarot here. Let's talk about this throat chakra. What is clear? What is this truth that is needing to be expressed? What is this truth that's needing to be expressed? By Virgo. Let's get some more information on this. Information on this truth that's needing to be expressed by Virgo. Okay. And so we have the wheel coming out. Interesting. And then we have the Knight of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. All right. And so I don't know. I'm feeling like you guys, you may be, it's like I'm feeling the wheel right now as the cycles. It's like the turning of the wheel. And so, and I'm noticing right now, it's interesting. She has a pair of dice around her neck. Like a roll of the dice, right? And so it's like, I'm feeling like you guys are being encouraged to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, the Knight of Cups in this deck is very clearly a romantic. I mean, he's holding red roses, right? So it's like you're being asked to step out of your comfort zone. When it comes to delivering a message of love, I feel like there's some sort of message of love, and you've been very in your head about it, right? We have the Six of Swords, but the Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer waters. And so it's like coming out of that energy of being stuck in your head and coming into more action around that. Because you guys have the Ten of Pentacles here. This is like complete material fulfillment, right? Let's get some more. Give me some more energy on the wheel. Explain the wheel to me. And so for the wheel, we have the Nine of Wands and the Moon. And so this is sort of the end of, this is like the turning of the wheel. Like you have been in a place of being extremely guarded and extremely confused. I feel like very emotional, which is not comfortable for a sign that tends to prefer to employ logic. So there's been like being guarded against your emotions. I feel like that's what this is. You've been very guarded against your emotions. That's the cycle that that's where the wheel is wanting to turn. It's wanting to move you out of that cycle where you're able to, like the Knight of Cups embraces his emotions. He knows what he feels and he's not afraid to speak it, right? And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups, right? Which is that new cycle in love, that new cycle in emotion with the Page of Pentacles, which is an offer, right? So let's see. Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. Eight of Swords. Yep. And the King of Cups. Okay, yeah. So this is the energy that you've been in regarding whatever this emotion is that you're needing to express. And this may not be love for everyone. I feel like it is for some people. But for some people, it may just be emotions that need to be expressed. The emotional truth that needs to be spoken. And you've been in this kind of state around it. Like really just, this is that energy of being caught up in your own head, right? A mental torture, mental anguish. But it's like really she's not stuck, right? She's seeing herself as stuck. But she is not. And so it's like that understanding that's coming through. And then look at, it goes from the Knight of Cups to the King of Cups, right? And so the King of Cups is in this card, the master of his emotions. He's leading from that completely open and healed heart space. And so that's the energy that you're being asked to move into. Let's get more on the Six of Swords. Seven of Wands. And the Star. Yeah. So this is, once again, this is the energy of finding peace amidst the chaos. Of having, it's like she's being challenged, but she's not even paying any mind to the challengers because she's in her own, this is her truth, right? This bubble is her truth that's surrounding her. She knows her truth. She feels confident and centered in her truth. And all of these other people's opinions, all of these other people's, just we'll say opinions for this, but other people's thoughts, other people's emotions, other people's opinions on the matter do not influence her in her bubble of her own truth, right? So that's like moving on to calmer waters, is moving into this space where other outside influences, other energies cannot influence your energy any longer. And there's incredible healing there, right? The Star is about trust. It's about vulnerability. It's about healing. That's what you're moving towards. You're moving out of the anguish, out of that period of feeling challenged, feeling like you're fighting, right? You're not fighting anymore. You're calm, you're content, you're peaceful, and you're connected, right? You're connected and you're healing. Just an incredible sense of healing. And then tell me more about the Ten of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, Three of Cups, and the High Priestess. Okay, right? So this is momentum. This is communication, right? This is higher intuition. It's like you've been receiving information, right? And that's why Spirit wants you to really get quiet. If this information hasn't come in yet, it will if you're able to be fully focused in the present. And you're able to really give your mind a rest, right? Give your lower mind a rest and access your higher mind, right? This is what this card is all about. This is our higher intuition, our higher self. Give the lower mind a rest and access the higher mind. Access the heart. Access the sacral as well. I feel like for some of you, it's like you were really uncomfortable in your own skin for a while. And that had an effect on your ability to access your emotions, to feel comfortable, to feel safe in your emotions, right? And so you're really you're healing that. You're being asked to step into a space where like you're regaining your confidence, right? And that's going to be helpful for you. But there still may be issues in ways that if you work with that sacral chakra and you work with really being comfortable in yourself, in your own skin, that's going to help. I feel like it's been a journey for you guys of that. That's been part of your healing journey as well, is just being comfortable in your own skin. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is reunion, celebration, rejoicing, right? And so your higher mind is sort of like pointing you in that direction. It's like they're coming together, right? I feel like it's coming together with the souls that you are meant to. Tell me more about this. The Two of Pentacles wanted to come out. Okay. So this would be the juggling, right? The opposing forces. Tell me more about the Two of Pentacles. Why is the Two of Pentacles here? Page of Pentacles. Or the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. This is like that tug of war here, right? This is, notice how she's looking off to the side with her back to us, right? All alone. This Eight of Pentacles card always reminds me of the traditional Nine of Pentacles, which is this single self-sufficient person, right? But she's like really, she's just off in her own world, doing her own thing, doing her work, building her, stacking her pentacles. And then here is the offer, right? So it's like her back, and then you can see in this card, this woman is facing to the front and she's holding the pentacle, right? And so it's like that balancing act of like, do I come forward or do I not? Do I speak my truth or do I not? That energy, right? That's the energy that you've been in for a while. Tell me more about this Three of Cups here. Then we have the Judgment and the Ace of Wands coming out. Yeah. So this is like the energy of inspiration. Like this is a passionate new beginning. This is a call to a passionate new beginning. Right? And with the Three of Cups, this could often be a reunion. I'm feeling it as a reunion. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what is Virgo still afraid of? What is still holding Virgo back from speaking this emotional truth? Justice, Six of Wands, and Temperance. Okay. And so I'm feeling like you really want to be victorious. Whatever it is that you have to speak, you want to be victorious about it, and you're having a lot of patience right now. Because you want to, it's like you want to make sure that it's the right time. You want to make sure that you have, like if this is a situation that requires an apology, if there was energy in the past that needs to be made right, you want to be sure that you're able to make that right. That there is justice in the situation. Before you move forward, you want to ensure that everything is fair and balanced, that you are fair and balanced in your approach, because you want this, right? This is the energy of being recognized, of triumph, of success. You want it's almost like, I feel like some of you guys too, you're waiting to be recognized in some type of, almost like maybe for some of you guys, there's some sort of a court battle going on, or there's something where you're waiting for a decision on something, and that decision is affecting your ability to come through and communicate this truth. Like you're waiting for that to go through, and that's why some of the patience is here. The temperance is here a little bit, which is interesting. And the King of Swords still on the bottom of the deck, right? Blunt communication, somebody who speaks their truth with authority. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles coming out, the actual Nine of Pentacles with the Chariot. So you want to be stable. You want to be stable before you move forward. You want to be stable before you take that action. You want to be really firm and centered and grounded in yourself. You want to be, like we talked about, sure that you are fully comfortable in your body, comfortable in your own skin. You want to be sure of your emotions. And it's like, because you've been so guarded against your emotions, sometimes it's hard for you to distinguish whether they're an accurate barometer or not to go by. Right? Because you're so used to using your logic, you're not really sure if you can trust your emotions. So you want to make sure that you feel like you can trust your emotions, that you are in the position that you want to be in, that you are really thriving and whole and complete on your own before you move forward toward this person or this conversation or this whatever this may be. All right, let me get what do I want to pull for you guys? Yeah, I'll get a Sacred Rebels card to close for you guys. Clear. Virgo. Whoa, okay. And so the Legacy of Light is what you guys have coming out. And this says, you're being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. Perhaps these are the beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel from your heart and with belief in yourself. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy, excuse me. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence into the world, to be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. The oracle of legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you are making or have made or will soon make is one that is in alignment with your sacred purpose and spiritual path of healing and growth. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. If you were asking about a particular question and drew this card, then part of the answer to your question is that the issue at hand is one of utmost importance to your spiritual growth, even if it seemed like a relatively insignificant question. Interesting. The energy around this matter is relevant to your sacred birthright to shine. Perhaps you need to trust more, to know that all is well no matter what appears to be, and to ask for help and believe that you deserve to receive it. The legacy of light also asks you to call on the unconditionally loving support that exists for you every day. This light will offer you all manner of assistance. To not call upon it is like starving because you believe you have no means to acquire food, whilst a feast lays before your eyes, if only you would partake of it. Perhaps you worry that you are asking too much of those who wish to assist you. However, this is a mistaken belief. Those beings of unconditional love who assist us spiritually each day need to shine just as we do. When they are embraced for their purpose to assist with the spiritual growth of humanity through unconditional love, they too become a part of the legacy of light, shining bright with love and helping to illuminate the world. Although you may doubt your goodness at times, and being human does mean that there will be some very dark moments on your path, this oracle affirms that you are coming from love with the purest intention to simply live your life and do your best in the circumstances in which you find yourself. You're being asked to avail yourself of the help that is awaiting your request, so that your own light can become a part of the greater shining legacy of divine brilliance made manifest upon the earth. This oracle is also guiding you to something in your family history or spiritual ancestry that is relevant to you now. Your spiritual ancestry can be recognized through the traditions and cultures you are intrigued by and interested in. They do not have to be the same as the spiritual traditions you were raised with in this lifetime, although they may be. The influence of your family history and or spiritual tradition may be encouraging and constructive, but it may also be holding you back. Sometimes we unintentionally absorb the hidden fears of our parents or religious upbringing, such as the belief that dreams cannot manifest or that we have to compromise to the point of losing what makes us feel truly alive. If you can relate to this or want healing just in case it is happening beyond the level of your conscious awareness, simply complete the healing process below. If you are involved in a group project, this oracle is asking you to stay true to the heart of why you began working together in the first place, and to seek assistance, protection, and guidance from a source that loves all of you unconditionally. You can do this through the healing process below. Finally, if you need a jolt to recognize that you are a creative being entitled to explore your ingenuity, and remember on the bottom of the deck here we had, I am the creator of my own dreams and achieve them with confidence. This oracle brings a particular guidance that yes, this is a part of your life path and you are encouraged to take it further. And this is like if you're thinking about taking a class, pursuing any type of interest that sparked any type of creative project or interest or higher learning that you've been sort of drawn to right now. This is definitely heavy confirmation that that is a way that you're meant to be going. You are also acknowledged through this oracle as having a special creative and healing offering to make to the world in this lifetime. You will leave a legacy of light for the greater good upon this planet, and you will be lovingly supported in many ways by the great creative universal intelligence when you ask for help. If you don't know how to do that, just complete the healing process below. And I may have to read this because it's mentioned the healing process below like 3 times. So I'll probably close with that for you guys. But this is definitely, so this is confirming that in a situation that you are experiencing right now, quite possibly the situation that we were talking about, there is family karma and there's genetic healing to be done. There's ancestral healing to be done. There's something in your family dynamics or your lineage that has been affecting this relationship, this situation that you're now being called to speak your emotional truth around. And so to really look at what you've learned, right? What belief systems did you acquire? What conditioning, what did you acquire from your parents, from your lineage? And to really trace that back and to see what patterns you may be healing, what patterns you may have been engaged in the past that may have contributed to situations that you found yourself in recently, and how you can heal that energy, how you can help your lineage and your ancestry to move beyond old patterns that are sort of holding them back, right? Because that's what we're ultimately here to do right now. And so to really look and pay attention to that, and pay attention to those aspects of your spiritual journey, and sort of like what you may have taken on that wasn't yours, right? And we take on things that aren't ours sometimes so that we can heal those. But first we have to recognize that it doesn't belong to us. And so that's one thing, that's part of your legacy of light, is transmuting that energy for your ancestral line. I feel like you guys are really stepping into, it's like, something about speaking your truth, and it doesn't really matter how the conversation goes. The outcome isn't important. What's important is you acknowledging your emotional truth and sharing it. That's what's important. That's part of what the lesson is. It's about that. It's about breaking out of the mold. It's about choosing your own direction, understanding that you are able to choose your own direction, and really choosing that. It's like, I feel like you guys are being pulled in a direction right now. And this isn't just in regards to like speaking your emotional truth and some of that stuff that we talked about, right? That energy definitely came through very heavy and was a big part of this reading. But it's also about you being pulled towards the light, towards your light, towards the ways that your individual light can shine. And so whether that's something that is generally allowed, or whether it's frowned upon or not, whether it's traditionally the way that things have been done, especially when it comes to your family, when it comes to your ancestry, wherever you're being called and pulled, you're being called and pulled for a reason. And so really explore that creative aspect of you. Explore that part of you that's wanting to learn, that's wanting to grow, because you have a great capacity to heal and to be a way shower for people. It's just like right now, you're finding your own way. It's about showing yourself that way, seeing and walking that path yourself, right? It's like you are being an incredible guide to others right now, whether you realize it or not. And so it's really about walking that path, walking your own path. Yes. All right, and I am going to read the Sacred Fool as well on the bottom of the deck here, because that's just feeling like it really wants to be read. And this says, the fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heralds a time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate, don't try to be socially acceptable, and don't think about what others may think about what you are doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. And so this is exactly what we were talking about, right? With the breaking out of those old patterns, walking that path that is your own. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heart, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. And so this is also about thinking for yourself, right, in all aspects. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. And for traditional Virgos, right, this is terrifying energy. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first, and that's okay. This is actually good. It's a sign that you are breaking from your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you can become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life, apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The Sacred Fool goes with this without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would make one's head explode. And I think that because Virgo tends to try to do that so much, that is part of why that mental energy can be so exhausting. As you take this journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives, right? You are being that example. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The Sacred Fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you are on the right course. You may feel that you are quite possibly going insane, but you are not crazy. You are just approaching enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes a rather long one, when we wake up to life, shed our attachment to mass opinion, and float in a completely different state of being. We may find that no one is really able to understand or connect with us to the point that we even question our state of mind. Stay with that. It will pass. You will eventually see that you are becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain great inner freedom and creative juice. Stay on your path. Stay on the journey. Remember that to take nothing too seriously, right? And it will all work out perfectly. I love that for you guys. I really, really love that. And so I feel like breaking out of convention, breaking out of those norms, be expressing those uncomfortable truths, right? Expressing and then living those uncomfortable truths, having those uncomfortable conversations, being emotionally open and honest. This is all the stuff that's pushing you onto this journey towards your own inner sacred fool and really embracing that sacred fool and embracing your legacy of light. So that is absolutely, absolutely perfect. And so the healing process that you can say aloud is, through unconditional love, I am open to receiving the support, guidance, protection, and assistance that I need to manifest the legacy of light that shines through me now. I release any conscious or unconscious attachment to beliefs or relationship patterns that hold me back from fully shining my light in the world. I ask that my creative journey be aligned with my spiritual path and blessed for the greatest good. So be it. And then it says to place your hands in prayer at your heart and close your eyes. To bow your head to your hands and imagine, sense, or perceive that a beautiful golden light pours down from the center of the universe into the top of your head. It then flows slowly down through your head and into your heart, all the way down through your body and out through the soles of your feet. When you're ready, open your eyes. You have completed the healing process. And so that's a little healing process or affirmation or whatever you guys want to call it that you can utilize and call upon. Really good stuff, Virgo. There's a lot here. There's a lot that you guys have going on, but it's all really, really good stuff. So be brave, be courageous, do that scary thing, have that scary conversation, wear your heart on your sleeve for once, right? It's okay to do that. It is safe to do that. Just really allow that mind to quiet, allow that higher wisdom and guidance to come in and follow that where it's trying to lead you guys right now. If you like this reading, comment down below. Let me know how it resonated. There are links down below to donate. There is also my email down below and a description of my different services that I offer. Please reach out to me if you require assistance. I would absolutely, absolutely be honored to be of assistance to you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Have an incredible January.